Hi everyone. This afternoon I'm going to show you how to make a card using this lovely set from the mini catalogue, Delivering Cheer. So you've got a sort of Audrey Hepburn type of dress or skirt I should say, with those lovely shoes, and then you've got one for rainy weather it looks like, with even some little socks to put on there if you wanted socks there. That's a baseline. You've got harvest, bouquet, a Christmas tree and some presents. So this is one card I made with it, using the raincoat with those lovely Norwegian socks, or Fair Isle with the harvest bundle as it were, or bouquet I should say, just for you. Use the textured 3D embossing folder behind, and these scalloped stitched rectangles are from the Colour and Contour dies. This one is paper pieced. I cased this from a YouTube video somebody had done. Stamped the skirt onto the deer celebration paper and cut it out, and then stamped the arms and the presents on top, and that's cherry cobbler card base, sending love and Christmas cheer. And then another one, and this one is done in polished pink on some of the Whimsical Trees designer series paper, and again stamped on the back of one of those pieces for the skirt, and then sending love and Christmas cheer. So I'm going to actually use the coat with the Wellington boots, and we're also going to use the Christmas tree this time because I haven't done that one yet, so we'll see what it turns out like. So I've got my this is the second largest scalloped stitched rectangle from the Colour and Contours dies, and I'm first of all going to stamp the bottom of the coat with the Wellington boots, and I'm going to stamp that here and just hold it down to allow the ink to be absorbed, and then just lift it off. And then I'm going to take the Christmas tree, which I haven't actually stamped out yet, so I haven't seasoned the stamp, as we say in the trade, but hopefully it will stamp well. Technically speaking, in fact, I might do that. This is just to show you, when you get a new photopolymer stamp, it's a good idea to just ink it up and stamp it off a few times, just to get any chemicals off that have been used in the stamp making process. And that's stamping nicely now. And then you'll find it'll stamp better. The other thing is to have our piercing mat underneath when you use a photopolymer stamp, so that gives it a good base. So if I just get the mitten hand in exactly the right place, hopefully, just concentrate at this point and put them there, and just hold it and then lift up. And I've stamped the tree, so that's that piece done. And now we're going to colour it in. Oh, the last thing, I do love these socks, I have to say, because I do knit socks myself. I've even knitted Fair Isle socks, but I use self-striping wool, so I cheat a bit, I could say. But I do love coloured socks, so it's rather nice to get those on as well. So I'll start off first of all with the tree, actually, I think. So I've got the two different shades of shaded spruce here, so I'm going to start off with the lighter one. There's different. You can either use the lighter shade of a blend. This is our blends pen in shaded spruce. We've got dark and light, obviously, shaded spruce, and you buy them in a pair. So that's the lighter colour going on, and then I'm going to put some of the darker on, and then I'll come back in with the light to blend it in. Just put a bit there, and now I'm going to take the dark and just flick a little bit here and there. So it'd be rather nice to get a bit of extra shading in here. Again, I haven't played with this actual stamp yet, so it'll be interesting to see what it comes out like, but hopefully it'll come out okay. So that's the dark shaded spruce. Then I'm going to come back with the bullet tip of the light shaded spruce to just blend that in. And hopefully you'll see a little bit as it dries. Usually as it dries, the colour comes out a bit more. So just blend that in. And hopefully you'll see a bit of variety there. Yeah, I can just see that. Okay, so now I'm going to colour the coat. I'm going to colour the coat red. I've got some designer series paper from the Painted Christmas on a real red card base, and then I'll have some real red behind the actual stamped image. So I actually want to do the coat in red. So I'm just going to take my real red blend. I did buy this one before they brought out that you had to get the dark and the light together, so I just bought the lighter one. But what I'm going to do is possibly use some cherry cobbler to give a bit of shading. So I think that's the tree trunk there, so I'm just going to go in there. It looks as if it's got a bit of a trunk, so I'm going to get a brown out to do the tree trunk in a moment. But let's just finish off and concentrate on the coat first. I haven't decided what colour I'm going to do the mittens. So there's the coat. I'm just going to get some, perhaps I'll start with the lighter cherry cobbler and see what that is like. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow here on the coat. See what it looks like. I think you can just see the difference, but I might actually get the darker cherry cobbler and see what that looks like. I'll do it on the sleeves first because it doesn't matter, and that does give a bit more of a contrast, which I like a bit better. So I'm just going to do that. Put a little bit on the bottom as well, and then I'm just going to take the real red to just blend that in a bit. Blends are lovely the way that you get different shading. Really like the different shading. Okay, so the tree trunk, I'm probably going to use, this one is bronze. So I'm just going to use bronze for the tree trunk. And then for the mittens, I think I might do the dark green. I could have used a blue, but I think the green would be better. There we go. So that's the mittens done and dusted, and that's the completed colouring done. So I think that I will actually stick this on dimensionals just to give a bit of interest. So I'm going to use large dimensionals, and I'm going to be generous with them. I've learned to be generous with dimensionals and just buy more, basically, because they're so useful to make sure that you have got enough on the card. So I'm just going to put one there and one there, and now I'm going to just peel off all the tops. Some people colour the dimensionals with blends pens with stripes so that they can tell when they take the tops off, but I'm just going to see, I can see in the light that when the backing has been taken off they go shiny, so that's enough for me. So I'm going to stick that on. I've cut out the rectangle already the right size, so now I'm going to take my Tombow and I'm going to stick down, if I can get, I'm nearly at the end of this one, but it's just coming out now, so that's fine. You only need that much Tombow, that's enough. Make sure I've got that the right way round and I've got it even. Good thing about Tombow is you've always got a bit of wriggle room, which is really good, so that if you don't get your card front in exactly the right place, then you can always adjust it. So that's going to go on like that. And then somewhere I did have a sentiment, so let's see if I can find that. The sentiment that I want to use is sending love and Christmas cheer. So I did have it with the card, but I seem to have misplaced it, so I will stamp another one. So I'll just pick up the sentiments, put the socks on there, get my real red ink pad, and I want to do this. Actually, I think I want to do this in green because there is quite a lot of red on the card. So the green in the background designer series paper is shaded spruce. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enough of that on there. And then I can just cut this with my snips. Just eyeball it to get it straight. And then I probably want to get it a little bit smaller. Oh, I just found my prepared sentiment on the floor. So I want to do that so that it's not going to cover too much of the actual card. So probably I'll have it just coming off. In fact, yep, I'll probably just have it coming off a little bit there, just in front of the coat. So I'm going to put a dimensional just behind here, like that, and some Tombow to stick over the coat. So when you've got two levels, you do it like that, because obviously there's a bit of a gap here. So I'm just going to do it as near to the edge of the card as I can, and just have it on the coat like that. And I forgot to take off the backing of the actual dimensional, which would help to stick it down. Got that on the ink pad, which is not help, so I'm just going to quickly take that off before I close up the ink pad with the back of the dimensional in it. And then I'm just going to get some gems. So we do have some really nice red gems in the annual catalogue that look like that. Sparkly red gems, which are absolutely perfect for this. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, which is brilliant. And I've just got a little splodge there, so a good way of covering it up is to put a gem on it. No such thing as a mistake. It's always a creative opportunity, as we like to say in the trade. And then I'll put one probably about there. And there you go. So there's the card that says Sending Love and Christmas Cheer. That was really quick to do. The other things, I mean, I suppose I could put decorations on that if I wanted to, but the other thing is that I could get out my trusty Wink of Stella, and that would just give an extra bit of sparkle and interest to the card. It really does make a difference if you put a bit of glimmer onto the card to make it stand out a bit. So you can probably just about see the shimmer from there. Hopefully, there you go. You can see it just there. Just makes a difference. It catches the eye a bit more. So that's the card we've just made. This is a card that could have been a happy birthday as well, actually, with the Whimsical Trees Designer Series paper. That's with the Designer Series paper that goes with the deer bundle, and that's just with coloured cardstock behind Misty Moonlight and Bumblebee. And then I've used the embossing folder, the Texture 3D embossing folder for the card base. So I hope that you enjoy this video. It is a fabulous stamp set, all sorts of things you can do with it, and great fun to colour with your blends, your watercolour pencils, your blender pen with the top of your ink pad, all sorts of ways you can colour it. So I hope that some of you have fun with this stamp set, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? So take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.